Well, howdy there, Internet people. It's Bo again. So, today we're going to talk about images and observations and stereotypes. We're going to do this because I got a message asking for evidence of something. And the message itself contains the evidence. It's one of those things where the person's right there. They're right there, ready to make the jump, ready to really begin understanding some of the stuff that's going on around them. And I think it might be an observation that a lot of people need to hear. I watched your survival skills video, and then your big channel showed up on my feed, and I've been listening ever since when I'm working or on the tractor. You've made me realize I was definitely farther left than I thought, but I'm like your friend in that Sharpton video when it comes to race. I just don't get it. I just don't follow the idea of systemic racism, in quotes. I think it's because, like you, I live on 450 acres in the middle of nowhere, and all the black people I've ever met or are friends with are just like me. They're good, hardworking people. I've always said that I don't even consider them black. I've picked up that I'm not really supposed to say it that way, but I've never viewed them as different. I'm just wondering if you can give me an example of some national systemic racism that I can actually see for myself where I am. This message has it in it. You say, all the black people I've ever met or are friends with are just like me. They're good, hard-working people, right? Your own observations. 100% of the time, this is what it's like, right? But those people, you don't view them as black. So where are you getting your standard of what black means? Where is it coming from? Because it's not coming from your own observations, from what you've seen, what you've heard, what you've experienced. It's coming from somewhere else. Where? All around you, right? That stereotype, that image. Movies, books, TV, the news, internet, discussions, sayings, whatever. All around you. It permeates everything to create that image that is 100% in direct contradiction to what you have personally experienced. Is that image good? Is it a good image? It's not, is it? It's not. See, it's one of those things. You're right. Black people, generally speaking, do not like being told that they're not even seen as black. That kind of comes off wrong. And they take it to mean many times that the person views that they've given up on their blackness. But that's not really what most white people mean when they say it. What most white people mean is actually even worse than that. It's not good, right? It's not a good image. All of the black people I've ever met or are friends with are just like me. They're good, hard-working people. I don't even consider them black. Because the image, the stereotype, right, is that they're not good, hard-working people. That stereotype is nationwide. It is systemic. It's the byproduct of living in a country that, through law, through tradition, through force, kept them down. Did everything it could to keep them down. And if you're going to subject a group of people to that, well, you have to cast them as lesser. Otherwise, people wouldn't tolerate it. so that image exists. It's a holdover. It's the after effects of a very long history in this country of institutionalizing it. That's systemic racism. The fact that your image of black people is completely different than what you've actually experienced is because all around you, you're told, society paints it as if they aren't good, hard-working people just like you. You wanted evidence, it's in your message. Now I got a challenge for you. You say you live on 450 acres. First, I would love to live on 450 acres. We aren't quite the same, I don't think. But if you live on 450 acres, you run a tractor, I'm willing to bet you are a person who trusts your own observations when it comes to whether or not it's going to rain, when it comes to what needs to go into the soil. Trust them here. Trust them here. Your observations say that black people are good, hard-working people, just like you. Every one of them you've ever met. Trust that. And acknowledge that the stereotype is manufactured. It's a holdover. It exists because in order to enact the institutionally racist policies of yesteryear, it had to exist. They had to make white people feel comfortable with keeping black people down. And this was the narrative that was manufactured. The reason you sit there and you say that the good, hard-working people that you know, that you don't even view them as black, is because you don't want to attribute a negative attribute to them. Because you're still in that mindset of viewing it through the stereotype. You know those stereotypes aren't right. I'm willing to bet you really didn't marry your cousin and you can read, right? I mean, you wrote me a message, but that's the stereotype about rural white folk. You know they're wrong. The difference is this is something that is pervasive. It's all over society. And if you think it's uncomfortable acknowledging this and acknowledging that you've thought this, imagine how uncomfortable it is acknowledging that this is how society viewed it. And it's directed at you. Your evidence is in your message. Anyway, it's just a thought. Y'all have a good day.